The routine EMI that we pay month after month, maybe for credit card, home loan, car loan, name it. Did you know that it lands up into an internationally traded bond? While you consume that thought, understand this. The way in which loans are issued is a very, very funny business. For instance, let us say you have, say, $1,000 and your ticket size of giving a loan, let us say, is $100 each. So, maximum you will be able to give like 10 loans, isn't it? 1,000 divided by 100. What if I were to tell you that this is actually endless and you can give infinite number of loans theoretically? Let's understand the mysterious world of securitization. The science of how your EMI becomes a bond. What if I told you the EMI you pay for your car or credit card, home loan, education loan, and whatnot, month on month, doesn't just end up at your bank? It's probably a part of a bond traded by investors across the world right now. Let us assume hypothetically there is a bank, Sunrise Auto Finance, that gives 10,000 car loans with a total worth of $200 million at 10% interest. The borrowers pay monthly EMIs. At this point in time, the entire capital of the bank is locked. It can't issue more loans once the $200 million has been dispatched. Now it does something very clever. It sets up a new company called Moonlight SPV, Moonlight Special Purpose Vehicle, to buy these loans, and this entire loan pool of bonds are being created, which is called as a Sunlight Car Loan Bonds. The denomination of these bonds could be $500 or $1,000, and the return on investment of buying this bond can be up to, say, 4%. Prior to this entire set of bond is getting blessed by credit rating agencies, which take a sample of these bonds, look at the kind of people who have taken loans, and bless these bonds with AAA rating. Normally, these investors are institutional investors, and these bonds are traded globally. Sunrise now has liquidity again and can issue a new batch of car loans worth $200 million. The same $200 million gets reused, credit expands without printing new money. So, every time a bank sells its old loans into an SPV, it gets a new fuel to lend again. And this is how economies grow. Liquidity keeps flowing through these invisible pipes. But what if the bank starts issuing loans to people who can't repay? That is a separate topic, and something like this is what exactly happened in the year 2008. So let's look at the mathematics behind this. Moonlight buys the $200 million car loan from Sunrise. How does it get money? Investors are promised 4% annual interest for 5 years. The 4% is attractive because it's slightly above bank fixed deposit rates, yet rated safe by the credit rating agencies. The bonds are backed by cash flows from thousands of car borrowers making monthly payments. Moonlight pays Sunrise $200 million raised from selling of the bonds. Sunrise now has its original capital back in full, but it still earns fees for servicing the loans Moonlight now owns. More importantly, Sunrise can re-lend the $200 million for a new set of car buyers at again 10% interest. So let's break it down. The first cycle, the original car loans earned 10%, and these 10% went to Sunrise. The second cycle, the new car loans are funded by the bond proceeds of the earlier cycle. So 4% of bond coupon has to be paid out. The Sunrise earns 10%, so the net spread is 6%. This process can be theoretically continued indefinitely. So, on the same $200 million capital base, Sunrise earns 10% and gives out 4%, making a spread profit of 6% consistently. The caveat is if rates change, if if competition has been able to reduce the car loan rates, or it is possible that the sales of the cars did not take place as much as it had anticipated after it had issued the bond. So those are the business related risks which we can keep it separately from the topic of today's discussion.
Securitization is a modern day financial innovation. While securitization can be used in a very productive way, wherein risk gets transferred and then it becomes a cause of creating liquidity, there is also another party that comes into play that will evaluate how good is the securitization. In the next section, we will look at credit rating agencies to help us understand how it is done in the US and India for the bonds that are getting generated out of securitization. Stay tuned.